crystal blue waters, pure white sand, colourful coral reefs, incredible wildlife, a vibrant coastal town. Welcome to the Whitsundays, the ultimate cruising destination.
The Great Barrier Reef and the Whitsunday Islands are one of the most pristine cruising grounds in the whole of Australia. The marina acts as a gateway to the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park, and we understand our responsibility to operate a sustainable business, to encourage sustainability in marine tourism, and also encourage sustainable boating practices. So one of our key sustainability initiatives that we've recently launched is our Better Boating Guide, which is essentially a greener guide to recreational boating. So the guide is full of heaps of tips and tricks and advice and information for the boating community, our visitors and vessel owners on how they can create a more sustainable boating journey when they visit the Whitsundays. So the guide is free to download on our Coral Sea Academy website, and it's updated regularly and is a really good resource to refer to when you're out and about cruising around the Whitsundays.
So the Whitsundays is an absolute playground for boat users. However you wish to use the marine park, you can do it here in the Whitsundays, whether that's exploring national park walks, to exploring beautiful beaches, to fishing, to snorkeling, diving, and even in places spearfishing as well. There is a range of activities that you can be involved in the Whitsundays, and it's an absolute paradise to do so. The Whitsundays is an amazing place, and as a result, it's really important that it's looked after and regulated. And that is largely regulated by the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority and also our partners at Queensland Park and Wildlife to ensure that the protection of those beautiful 74 islands is maintained for future generations. So at the Reef Authority, we want people to see the reef, love the reef, and protect the reef. So we encourage you before entering the marine park to do your research, do your homework. So for the Whitsundays, zoning map number 10. If you don't want to use the old school map, we have an app called Eye on the Reef that provides you with all the information that you need to know about zoning before entering the marine park. So zones in the marine park are really important. They allow for multi-use of the marine park. It provides opportunity for everyone while still managing the sustainability of the marine park. So the Great Barrier Reef is an incredible ecosystem with outstanding biodiversity. And here at the Reef Authority, we really want to promote responsible reef practices, which are all available to access on our website. But some of those include go slow for those below. We want you to be transversing around the reefs at a safe speed, not just for your safety, but for the safety of the amazing marine life as well. Now, snorkeling and diving in the Great Barrier Reef is a bucket list item for so many people, and it's something that we really encourage everyone to experience in their lifetime if they can. But there is a responsibility to those users to look after this incredibly beautiful but somewhat fragile ecosystem. So we ask that you move slowly around the reef. You don't chase wildlife, and there's no touching and particularly no standing on the Great Barrier Reef. This is incredibly important so that we can ensure that this reef system is protected so that future generations can enjoy it for years to come.
So the whale season in the Whitsunday, it begins in June and extends to sort of early October. Each year they come up in their hundreds up to the Whitsundays, and they come up here to feed, to breed, and to have their calves as well. Because it's such an important calving area, the Whitsunday Islands have basically a higher protection on them. So that essentially means that there are more restricted rules on access around whales. So it's really extremely important to stay at least 300 metres away from any whales. If you were to have a whale pop up near you, what you need to do is essentially drop your engine speed back, put it into neutral, and essentially wait for that whale to move out of the way before you would want to move your boat. In the Whitsundays, we have 6 of the 7 turtle species, and they're here all year round. That means that being out in the water, you have the potential to see them at any times of the year, which is really amazing. It's really also important to avoid disturbing any of the nests, particularly when they're laying, or generally when you're seeing turtles out in the water too, really important to give them their space. So the Whitsundays has very diverse bird life, and particularly from October to March, we have migratory birds come to the area. For that reason, there are some locations around the Whitsundays that have higher protection than others. So places like Bird Rock, East Rock and Eshelby Island are a few to mention. It's important to respect seasonal closures like those ones on Oldham Rocks and Grassy Island, and also important to never feed seabirds and make sure that your rubbish is away, particularly places like Whitehaven Beach.
The message for people coming to visit the Whitsundays is they're most welcome. Come enjoy one of the most beautiful parks that we have in the world here. But the advice that I'd give is to plan ahead, and the best way that people can do that is by accessing our website. The importance of the mooring system here in the Whitsundays is huge. We've got 212 here in the Whitsunday area alone that we've invested in, and the reason we do that, plain and simply, is not just to be a service, but to protect the reef. So you can imagine what it's like having all of the boats here in the Whitsundays being at anchor all the time around some of those more precious reef ecosystems, whereas providing moorings allows an easy way for boaties to pick up and safely have their vessels moored overnight. So we do put a lot into our pest management in terms of what we are asking for the public. So obviously these islands being offshore, they are isolated ecosystems. They have been isolated ecosystems for some time. That means, unfortunately, they are a little bit more vulnerable for when these incursions can occur. What we ask for people visiting the Whitsundays is for them to be vigilant themselves and checking everything from their footwear to their clothing to the boats that are bringing them ashore through to their camping equipment, checking things like weed seeds and soil, anything that's going to come onto a precious remote ecosystem and have the potential to change it very quickly. We've got lots of walking tracks here in the Whitsundays, so they range from gentle walks through to more intense track climbs. My advice to people visiting would be jump onto that website once again, familiarise yourselves with the difficulty and the length of the track, estimated return times as well, and then coming on to the islands. There's still more that they can do to help us keep the islands pest-free and healthy, so we ask that people take their rubbish with them. We ask that they're leaving their pets behind. We're asking that they're not feeding the local wildlife. They're not having fires on the beaches or clearing vegetation for the sake of doing so. People are most welcome to come and enjoy the Whitsundays. We're lucky to have one of the most beautiful areas here, if not in the world, right here on our doorstep. But the message that we're putting out is don't destroy what you can to enjoy.
Tangaroa Blue's mission is to prevent marine debris from occurring. Our mantra is if all you do is clean up, that's all you'll ever do. We run a program called the Australian Marine Debris Initiative, which is a national network of community, industry, government and academia, all focused on both the removal and the prevention of marine debris in our oceans. We have some amazing partners who are boat owners, and they can get to places which are difficult for us to get to or just too expensive for us to get to regularly. So we encourage everybody to download the AMD data collection app, and if they're out on an island and they're doing a little mini cleanup, to collect data on what they've collected and submit it, because it might be the first time we've had data from that island, or it might be an island that we haven't been able to get to because of weather for a really long time. So everybody can contribute anything that they pick up to the AMD database. What we do with the data is we try and create source reduction plans. So they are projects that specifically address one of the items that we're finding in the AMD database. And Ditch the Flick is our source reduction plan that looks at reducing cigarette butt litter. So when Tangaroa Blue first approached the marina about coming on board with Ditch the Flick, we wanted to showcase, first of all, what the problem was, and then we created some solutions. So there was already some butt bins around, but we've rebranded them together with the marina to make them really pop out, to make them easy to see. We also changed the locations of some of them. It's also about letting people know where the butt bins are and the designated smoking areas are. So creating a QR code that people could use when they saw a no smoking sign that directed them to the right place to smoke. Again, making it easy to find where they should be smoking and where there was infrastructure to dispose of their cigarette butts as well. If everybody that came to the reef spent, half a day, a couple of hours, just making the environment better than when they found it, that would make a massive impact to the whole of the Great Barrier Reef.
When experiencing the Great Barrier Reef, so many people want to do their bit to look after it. So when you're enjoying the marine park, we encourage you to download the Eye on the Reef app. Not only does this provide you with information on zoning so that you can stay compliant while enjoying your time here, but you can also contribute to the official citizen science method for the Great Barrier Reef. So perhaps you're out on your boat and you see a protected species. Maybe there's a turtle swimming at your snorkel spot. You can capture a photo and you can report that information directly back to the team at the Reef Authority. That allows us to make informed management decisions on how to protect the Great Barrier Reef.
The boating community is in a really unique position to become ambassadors for the ocean by making smart, sustainable travel choices and creating good boating habits. By bringing this community together and sharing knowledge, we hope to create a larger, safer and more expansive boating community in the Whitsundays that has an environmental focus. Our goal for every visitor to the marina and to the region is that they discover a real connection with the natural wonders of the Whitsunday Islands and the Great Barrier Reef, and a real passion for living and boating sustainably.